In this video, we're going to take a look at place values of decimals. So depending on the position of a digit in a number, it has a specific value, and that value is called its place value. So if you notice here in our place value table, we have a decimal point in the middle. The decimal point is always represented by the word and. And then on the right side, we have parts. These parts are values that are less than one whole amount. And so you notice that we have tenths, which ends in THS, hundredths that ends in THS, and it continues, and all of these end in THS. On the left side, we have the whole amount, which are our ones, tens, hundreds, and so on. So here we're going to take a look at first determining the place of the given digit, and second, determine the place value of that given digit in the number. So here is our number here, and we're going to take a look at the digit 3. So if I was to write my number here, I have 4 tens, 2 ones, my decimal, and then my 3 and my 5. So if you notice, my 3 is in the tenths place, which means it has a place value of 3 tenths. And I would write 3 tenths as 0.3. And I would read that as 0 and 3 tenths. Because again, my decimal always represents the word and. Same with this number. This time, though, I'm looking at the digit 2. So my 2 is right here. So if I write my number, I have my 7, 8, and 9, my decimal, and then the 5, the 2, and the 0. And we notice the 2 is right here in the hundredths place, which means that it has a place value of 2 hundredths. Or I would write that as 0.02, because the 2, again, has to be in the hundredths spot. And I would read this as 0 and 2 hundredths. So here I'm looking at the digit 9, which is right here in my number. So if I write that by my place value, I have my 5, 2, 1 decimal, and then my 8, my 4, and my 9. And again, my 9 is here in the thousandths place, which means it has a place value of 9 thousandths. And I would write that as 0.009. Again, if I read this, it would be 0 and 9 thousandths. This is a little bit different situation here. It says which number has a digit with a place value of 6 tenths. Well, so I'm looking for a 6 in the tenth spot. And when I do that, I have my 0 decimal, and then my tenth spot is right after that decimal. And that would be this number right here. So it'd be 3 decimal 6 in the tenth spot, and then the 2 ones. And then here it says which number has a digit with the place value of 6 hundredths. And again, my hundredths are 2 spots after the decimal. So when I do that, I'm looking at this number right here, which would be 1.06 in the hundredth spot, and then my 2. Here I have which number has a digit with a place value of 6 thousandths. And again, thousandths is 3 numbers to the right of the decimal, which would be right here. And when I look at those numbers, that would be this one right here, because I have 8 decimal, 2, 4, and my 6 is the third number to the right of the decimal. Let's take a look at these problems. In these situations, I'm going to write the number that's given to me in word form. So here I have my first one. It says 482 and 1/10. Well, again, with my word and here, that's where I'm going to put my decimal. And then I have 1/10. Well, I know that the tenth is one number after or to the right of my decimal. And I only have one of those. So I'm going to put my one here. On the left side, I have 482. So I would write 482. So my number here would be 482 and 1/10. Next one here, I have 299 and 52 thousandths. So again, with my and, I'm going to put my decimal, and then I have the thousandth space, which is one, two, three spaces to the right of the decimal. So that means this two in my 52 has to be in my thousandth spot. Well, that's right here. And then it is 52. So my 5 would go here. And then I would just put a 0 right here. And then on this side, I have 299. So I would write 299. And so my number would be 299 and 52 thousandths. Here I have 1 and 7 hundredths. Again, where my and is, I have to put my decimal, and then I have 7 hundredths. Well, this hundredths is two spots after the decimal, and I have seven of them. So this, again, this 7 here has to be in the hundredth spot. So that would go right here, and I would put my 0 here. And then it says that I have 1 on the left side. So I'd put my 1 here. So I would have 1 and 7 hundredths.